Now, I'm going to hold the girlie's hand when I say this. Decenter men.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Omaomi, aka Petite Diva, and this video is all about a lady who came online to share our thoughts about herself and the way our exes made her feel. So I think she was in therapy and she just decided to record some of the sessions. So she was talking about how some of her exes made her feel when she was in a relationship with them, and how they acted when they broke up, and also how they acted when they were with their new girlfriend.
Broke up with me because he was like, I'm never gonna be the guy who posts you on Instagram or who buys you flowers, which I thought was stupid. And then now I hear that he has a new girlfriend and they're traveling around Europe together and he posts her on Instagram. He refused to ever post me. Now a year later he can date someone and like happily be posting her. Even though I don't even want him anymore, it's like the principle of things that makes me salty. And it's just like annoying because like people or society, they'll say like, oh, it's because they don't like you enough. And I just never felt like that was like an adequate explanation. And it's like the same thing with like where he was like, well, I just didn't like you enough. That's why I treated you so poorly in the end. It's just this stupid way for these men to not take accountability for being a shitty partner. And it's like they always are like of the idea of like, well, one day I'll meet the right person. For the right person, I'm suddenly going to become this like very romantic and amazing partner. This person's going to be so perfect that they're going to bring out these characteristics in me that I've never had with anybody else. I hate flowers, but I'm going to like them so much that I'm going to buy them flowers. I'm going to be inspired by them flowers because I like them. I like them so much more than I could ever like you. That's what it seems like they're saying. Like as if it's my fault. Me getting treated shittily by them is somehow my fault because I wasn't enough. I couldn't make them like me enough. I couldn't elicit strong enough feelings from them for them to treat me right. Like I couldn't make them treat me right because I wasn't enough. And it pisses me off because logically, that is so stupid. If you are a bully and you're bullying someone, you bullying them has nothing to do with the victim. You're a bully because you're a shitty person, not because that person is somebody deserving of being bullied. I feel like these men use this hypothetical girl as a hypothetical benchmark to excuse why they treat you so shittily. And it's a way for them to not take accountability by just having this hypothetical benchmark that would just be pushed and pushed and pushed back. I feel like if they happen to change and start treating the next person better, it has nothing to do with the other person. It's just because they decided, oh, you know, maybe I should be a little bit better and post my girlfriend on Instagram and buy her flowers, because that seems like a normal thing most people would do in a relationship without complaint. I just hate being blamed for someone treating me badly. I hate being blamed for it. If I cheat on someone, it has nothing to do with them. They didn't deserve to be cheated on. I just cheated on them because I'm a shitty person. Like, why are these people like blaming me for them treating me poorly? I think I read something else online that like really pissed me off. Someone was asking a question. Why does my boyfriend get so mad when I express my needs to him? One of the comments that I thought was so true was just like, it's because they don't really care about you. They want to be in a relationship, but they don't want to do what it takes to nurture the relationship and to have a healthy partnership with you. They just want the benefits of a relationship. They hate the fact that they have to go out of their way to make you feel loved in order to reap the benefits of a relationship. They resent the fact that they can't just exist and be loved and be taken care of without doing anything for their partner. They resent the fact they have to be romantic. They just want to put in no effort and just like be accepted and loved as they are without giving me anything. They got pissed I had needs and that they couldn't just exist and treat me shittily. They got mad that like I didn't want to accept that and that I dared to ask more of them. In regards to my Chicago ex starting to post his new girlfriend on Instagram, I feel like it's not a matter of, oh, he likes her more. I feel like it's more of like he realized that I was asking for basic things. And so in his next relationship, he decided maybe I should become a better partner in the future because maybe I wasn't a good partner in the past. Instead of changing for me, instead of becoming a better partner for me, they chose to break up with me. They couldn't like let go of their ego. If they change for me, they're giving me too much power. So they'll change in the next relationship as a way to save face. They'll take that feedback and move to the next relationship. It just pisses me off and it makes me want to die alone. I feel like this is all so jaded, but like this is just how I really feel about these men. And I hate them. And I hate myself for ever liking them and ever even having experienced this. I like almost hate myself for like putting myself in this position, even though I didn't know they were like this in the beginning. They act so great in the beginning. You only see the true colors like 4 months later. How could I ever anticipate that? Like, I couldn't. It feels like I blame myself for being treated poorly, and on top of that, these men are blaming me for them treating me poorly. So it's like the whole thing just feels like my fault. It's like when they end things with me, they always like say all this like bullshit that's just like, oh, like, I think the world of you. You've changed me so much. I think the world of you. You've taught me so many things. There's so many things I admire about you. I think you're an amazing person. They always say stupid shit like that. Like, that I don't even know if they mean, but it stings because they say that, and yet they treat me so poorly.
Now, watching that video was so saddening. Our exes really did a number on her. They did a number on her self-esteem because she was feeling so bad. She was feeling like she was not worth anything. She was talking about the fact that one of her ex was saying that he doesn't do Instagram, he doesn't do photos, he doesn't do all those things. And then when they broke up and he had a new girlfriend, he was doing all the things that he said he doesn't do with her. And she was feeling like, is she the one? Is there a problem with her? She also talked about the fact that some of her exes were saying she has issues, she's the problem, and just made her feel very shitty. Any which way, people had things to say about her video and all that she shared.
They want to be in a relationship, but they don't want to do what it takes to nurture the relationship.
So the video that you just saw is so good, and if you're someone who's really interested in learning how to decenter men in your life, I need you to go watch the previous video and then come watch this. Now, I'm going to hold the girlie's hand when I say this. Decenter men. Decenter them. And I think for me personally, it has been one of the best things that I have done, both for my mental health, my physical health, and going forward as someone who is 31 years old, who is not in a relationship, but I am dating, just to understand the sheer madness that goes on in most of these men's head. And this is not to say that, you know, this is everybody's experience, but in my previous relationship, something that kept coming up was how doing something that is the most basic of things was something that was very hectic for him. And then after I left the relationship, it wasn't up to 2 months, he got a girlfriend and then was doing everything that I had asked for in that new relationship without fuss. And you know, I had a mental breakdown going back home that day because I kept asking myself, was it me? Am I the problem? What exactly about me makes it easy for people to treat me so shittily and make me feel like shit? But the truth is, this is not about you. It was never about you. It would never be about you, because the issue will always remain that people, especially men, cis men, will refuse to take accountability for the fact that they are treating you shittily but still benefiting from you in a lot of ways. And for my decision to refuse to enter another fucking relationship is an act of political warfare. It's my own way of resistance, because I refuse to be in another relationship that is benefiting only them. I would rather die. I would jump off a fucking cliff, literally. I say this to every woman: if you're struggling with coming to terms that these niggas don't actually like you, I need you to just, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. They don't. They do not. And the earlier you get the out of there, the better for you. The better. Because listening to her talk and like walk through her process was literally how I felt dealing with that particular experience. Because at some point you sit down and you're like, oh my God, like, is it me? No, baby, it's not you. It will never be about you. And just watching them move from you to dating someone and then eventually marrying them and, you know, going on to have a family with them, it does something to your brain. It does. But I just wanted to say that if you're a young girl, decenter men, and so that you can go on and live your life and you'll be happy.
It's like, I get treated like this, so some other girl in the future can be treated.
I promise you, he is not treating her better than how he treated you. And that is the biggest lie we've been told as women, that, oh, you know what? The moment he met so-and-so, he just became a better man. Excuse me, that is a very strange thing to say. That somehow the way that women show up, or a woman's value, dictates how a man is going to treat you. Men will treat you how they want to treat you, okay? This has nothing to do with how they perceive you. It's just who they are fundamentally as people. And so when you think about it this way, right? Like, he's now treating her better than how he treated me. Listen, he just took a test. You are the test, and he failed that test. But he learned a few things, at least superficially, because he wasn't actually willing to do the work or study, right? He learned a few things on the surface, like it's really great to take her out on weekend getaways because it's romantic, and maybe I should give into a couple's costume during Halloween because that's important to her. So he takes those lessons and he brings it to the new relationship, and you see it on social media advertised like a PR campaign for how he has evolved and become a better person, when in reality all he's done is learned a few things to make him seem as though he is now evolved. But he is going to go back to baseline eventually when the honeymoon phase is over, and he's still going to be the guy who doesn't know how to resolve conflict, can't take accountability, is defensive when you have things to bring up, doesn't have the emotional resilience that he needs in order to be in a relationship that is sustainable. That is the guy that you are no longer with. The guy that you're seeing with your social media platforms out here, he is just projecting an image that, guess what, I've learned, I've grown, I'm a better guy. And that's just for his own self-preservation. And don't let it bring down your self-esteem, because it is not a reflection on you as a person or a partner. It is 100% a reflection of him.
He broke up with me because he was like, I'm never going to be the guy who posts you on Instagram or who buys you.
Hey, Sabrina. First, I want to thank you for sharing your story with us and for being so vulnerable in your sharing. And as someone who has made concessions and who has been with men who were not right for me, but I stayed for ABC reasons, I want to tell you this. Any man that falls in love with you for what you do for them, or for the way that you make them feel, for the feelings that you elicit out of them, will end up resenting you for who you are, who you actually are. It's incredibly one-sided and incredibly painful, because the person who truly loves you will love you, for the way that you move about the world, for the way that you engage with other people, for the contributions that you make to the world. They will love you for the way that you wholeheartedly and unapologetically are yourself. And in a loving partnership, that pendulum will swing both ways. Because I've said this before, but it's not 50-50, it's hundo. And I firmly believe that these men leaving your life, that these men ending their relationships with you, is not even them. It's the universe plucking you out of those situations. Because, okay, you're seeing him with his new girlfriend and he's doing the things that you wanted with his new girlfriend. But that is still the same man doing those things. Because it's not about things at the end of the day. It's about being seen and feeling heard and understood. And this growth, this change, this realization that you're talking about, it doesn't happen because of another person. It's not happening to your ex because of the girl that he's with. Those changes come from within. There's something about you that demanded more than they could give. And that's not your fault. And why would you want to be with someone who doesn't have the capacity to give and to participate the way that you do? You don't. Givers give and takers take, and givers need to be with other givers. And then and only then does the relationship become symbiotic. I say this with all of the love in my heart. You will find the giver to your giver. But you got to be specific. And you got to stop asking yourself whether you're enough or not, because enough is not enough. If you continue to ask yourself, am I enough? That means you are going to open yourself up to accepting enough. And again, enough is not enough. I know this because I sought partnership for such a long time, and I was so hell-bent on being part of a partnership that I attracted everything but. So when I tell you get specific, I mean it. And the voice that tells you that you're not enough, shut it down. Before I met my partner now, about 2 months before, I made a list. I made a list to the point where it was like, I want this person to treat animals this way. I want this person to see my friends as their own friends and my family as their own family. I want this person to understand my culture and to be immersed in it. I want this person to give me all the room to be myself. Get specific. And do not let fear get in the way of your specificity.
So this creator made a really relatable video on how we tend to internalize how people treat us as meaning that we are not worthy of being treated well. So in her situation, she was dating a guy who wouldn't post her on Instagram and told her very explicitly that he would refuse to do that, and then now she's seeing that he's posting his new girlfriend all over Instagram. I had a similar issue, like the essence of the issue is really similar, where I had a boyfriend once who had his own issues, but I was young at the time. I was only 24 and didn't know better. And so I would internalize a lot of the things that he would say and do, and I would wonder, like, why is it that he's not changing? Why is it that he's not treating me well? There must be something wrong with me. There must be something about me that's making him not treat me well. What is it about me? And I think it's a really faulty way of thinking, looking back at it, because the thing is, you don't control what other people do. Someone's character is constant, and you don't control how people behave or how they react or what they're gonna do. But to really concretely nail this point across, I removed him from my social media, but I had his friends on my social media, so I would see that he was dating this new girl, and she was like, and I like saw her account, and she was posting him everywhere. And I was just like, wow, like he's doing all of these things for her. He never did those things for me. And like I had the same exact thought as this creator did. It's like, what was it about me? I immediately went into internalizing it. Well, not that long ago, the same ex reached out to me last year he wanted to see me. He wanted to see me while he was visiting New York. Meanwhile, he proposed to the girl. He was engaged, and he didn't know that I knew, and she was pregnant. He had a pregnant fiance and was still trying to contact me. And that's fucked up, right? Because that kind of proves to you that even though publicly it seems like he's treating her really well and taking her on trips and all of this and that, it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit because character is constant. He's still a piece of shit, even now. Even now. So you can't always believe what you see, how people are trying to portray themselves online. It's oftentimes just a facade. And it's a really important lesson to learn, or more importantly, to unlearn, to not internalize how people treat you.
Now, people try to encourage her and tell her that she's not the problem, that most likely the exes are the problem. And if she thinks that they've changed with their new girlfriends, that most of the time it might be just a facade, it might be a lie, they might be in the honeymoon stage, and he's just trying to pretend, since a lot of the things that she said, he feels like the new person would like. And after a while, her exes are going to show their true color to their new girlfriend. Another person talked about the fact that that's why discernment is vital, especially when you're in a relationship, so that you don't feel like your worth is based on what the man feels about you. Now, watching our video, I saw that our self-esteem is at the lowest. Like, the whole relationships that she has had, the way the exes have talked to her afterwards, like the way they treated her during the relationship, has made her feel like she's not worth anything. They've made her feel like she's a useless person, a shitty person, and that she's not worth the love of anybody. And it's not a good situation for anyone to be in, honestly. And until she finds the strength to believe in herself, she's going to believe what they've said. Because if one person said it, the second person said it, the third person said it, if you at one point you're going to think, am I the problem? And it might be that they are the problem. It might be that she's choosing the wrong set of people. So I understand how she feels. At one point in time, my self-esteem was very low. So people were doing and undoing. And honestly, I had someone say some things to me when I was trying to break up the situationship and everything. And I think I felt a particular kind of way. And because my self-esteem was already low, and the situationship, because I refuse to call those things relationship, that I've had before, it was similar things that were going on. I was just like, is it me? Is there something wrong with me? But after being single for a while and trying to work on my self-esteem, I just feel like that person was just talking trash. Now, someone talked about decentering men, and I feel like she really needs to do that. She really needs to not allow the thoughts or the way that some men think about her to influence how she thinks about herself, how she feels about herself. She needs to find her own self-worth based on herself, not anybody's thoughts about her. I like the fact that she's in therapy. Hopefully the therapy will work for her and she'll find ways to boost her self-esteem without people's validation, without men's validation. I also hope she would get motivated to do things for herself. And I hope she'll be able to focus on her goals and dreams and achieve them, so that her confidence can improve and she can get motivated to do things and feel like she's not a bad person. I really hope that when she gets to a better place, where she has a better mindset, she has a stronger mindset, and when she decides that she wants to be in a relationship again, she will choose the right person and her relationship will be better, and all this that she has felt will be a thing in the past, and she will be glowing and be happy, and things will work out for her. So I really wish her all the best. It was not an easy thing to put up that kind of video on the internet, because you know, people can be mean, but she was vulnerable and I love it for her. I love that she's confronting the things that have occurred, and hopefully the therapy sessions will work for her. I don't know what you guys think about this whole situation. Do you think that her being vulnerable is a good thing and is a step to healing? I would love to hear your thoughts about what people said concerning her situation and the advice they gave her. If you have any other advice for people who are experiencing the same thing, please leave it in the comment section. I would love to read it and it can help somebody. So please leave your advice and your thoughts about this whole situation in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.